Hi everyone. In the previous session, I told you about regarding input statements, and now I will tell you about how to input for the single variable and the multiple variables. So let's check it out. A equals to A equals to input, as I told you. This one will be just considered as enter the first value, right? So basically, what is this value and what is the data type of the A variable? The value of this is like whatever you want to enter from the user perspective, but the data type of A should be in string, right? It should not be integer. Now what I'm going to do here, if I want to as a multiple input in the same line, so no need to define here as a b and then input this and you can just type it the same line. No, what we should do, we should just define this input a comma b, and whatever you want to define the input, just split those input and into the two variables. So let's check it out here. Here I have just defined enter the uh, two values. So here I'm going to just define the message for the user with respective what you are going to input here, right? So basically what I'm going to input, enter the two values with a space separated, so that user will get to know that I am going to enter the two particular values like 45 65 with a space, so that so that user will get to know very easily. So that's why I have defined here the simple input. Okay, so I will just run the program. You can just check out the output here. My output should be like 35 89. My output is wrong here. Basically it will be giving me the error. Why? Because here I am asking the two inputs. I have defined the two inputs. Yeah, that is correct. But this will give me the one value, right? Here I am not define any split function. Here this is the simple one input. And you are going to tell you that you this particular the left side a and b variable is asking two inputs, but here I have defined one. So what we should do, the separated values with a space, I want to just split those answers, right? And what is my separation special case character? That is the space. Okay, that is the space. So basically the split function will have the basic default argument, that is the space. Either you will do like blank or you will do just like this one. If you want to mention with a comma separated values, yes, that is also possible. You can just define the input as 34 comma 89, and then you can just define with a comma. That is, yes, it's possible, and that will be good. So if but in my current situation, what I'm going to do, I will just separate with a given space. So I will just define split here. Okay, I'll just run the program once again. You can just check out the output. Sorry, I have not defined here a and b, both the values. I will just run the program once again, and you can just check out the values here. 23 90. Yes, check it out. It should not be giving me the any error because this will be like perfectly right. Here I have defined the input. What input? 23 space 90. So whatever the space will be there, that will be splitted with the two values, and the 23 will be going to give you at the a, and the 90 will going to give you into the b. So basically here I am going to print these values. And now the basically the what is my important question here, I want to just check it out, what is the type of a and what is the type of b. As I already told you, the input will give me the string data type by default. Okay, so I'll just run the program so that you will just make sure what is the type of input it is. Okay, so see here, this both the input variables are string data type. So what we should do, we should just define as don't make integer like this one. No, that is not possible, because integer only integer function will not be change this string data type. uh, Not both, I mean to say not both. It will going to change the data type only for the single value, as I told you in the previous session. So here I will introduce one more function, that is just mentioned as the map function. So what we should do, mapping from integer to both the inputs. So this is the syntax of the map function. So basically first I have defined the input, and then secondly I have defined the integer for the map. So basically map is the function with first argument as the data type, what data type you are going to input or you are going to convert it, right? So basically here my first argument is integer and the second argument is called the input with the split function. So basically, whatever the input you are going to define as 23 space 89, that particular input will convert and mapped to the integer data type. So this is the function of the mapping. Okay, I will just run the program here. You can just check out the output here basically. So 20 space 10. Yes, perfect. So these both are both the inputs are the integer now, and this is mentioned as 10, 20 and 10. If you want to check it out that this a and b are the integer values or not, you can just mention the summation value for that, a plus b, and here I want to just check that summation is sm. Okay, I will just run the program once again. You can just check out the input here after the input from the user. Okay, so 20 and 25, my output should be 45, right? Because these both are the inputs, integer inputs. So that's it. So this is like for the multiple values, you can just define it with this one. Okay, if you want to define like c comma d, and if you want to find out like plus c plus d, yes, that is possible here. So c and that is d. So here you want to just input as a type of c, and this is also as a type of d. I want to just run the program. You can just check out the output here. Don't mention and enter the two values. Here we are going to enter the four values. Okay, I will just correct it and run the program once again. Let's check it out. 2 space 4 space 10 space 20. So what is the output? It should be 20 plus 10 is 30 and 36 basically. Okay, I will just enter. Yes, perfectly, my output should be correct, and all the four inputs are the integer. That means whatever you have defined here in the input function with the split, those split function will going to split, and the map function will going to split those values and converting into the integer input. So that's it for today's class. In the next session, I will tell you about the operators. So see you in the next one.